Alright, we're going to talk now about making some tires. We have our body, we've made a couple of details. We can make a whole bunch more details. We could put the cab lights on top here, we could do a rear view mirror, we could go in and put an interior, we could do a hitch, we could do bumpers, we could do tail lights, windshield wipers, door handles, dozens and dozens. We could do stuff under here, axles, exhaust pipe, we could put stacks somewhere on it. Lots and lots of different details you can make, and you should make. So for now though, let's talk about tires. There's two different ways we can make tires. We can either draw a circle, pull it out, and call that a tire. We could spiff it up a little. We could get our offset tool, we could do a couple of extra rings in here, get our push-pull tool, push them back. Okay, so we could make that fancy if we wanted to. There's another way to do it though, and it's gonna look really weird, but let's try it anyways. We're gonna make a circle again, the same way. Size does not matter at this point. We're gonna get a square. We're going to draw our square from the center of this circle. We start at the center and we're going to go up. So we have a square that is perpendicular, or a rectangular that is perpendicular to our circle. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our follow me tool to follow this circle around. Okay? Now that looks like we just did exactly what we did over here, right? Well, let's make some changes. Remember how we did the chair legs on the third chair? We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to start adding some different bits and pieces to this. We can do curves, we can do straights, we can do boxes. Whoops, that's not right. Let's undo that. We want it to be on the face. Let's go have a flat spot right there and there. Okay, and let's put some tread on this too. I'm going to get my box tool. We can do a couple of these things. Obviously you would want to spend your time and make it look a little better than I'm making it look. Okay, let's get rid of all this extra stuff, and this is going to become the profile of our wheel. Now if we get our follow me tool, we grab this shape and we follow it all the way around and click. Give it a second. These shapes are fairly complex. There's our tire, and that's a pretty nice tire. What should we do with this? Make it a component. Triple click, right click, make component, create. Alright, now it's a component. We can use our scale tool if we want to resize it. We can make it bigger, smaller, we can make it fatter, or we could even reverse it. Okay, so what I recommend you do is make one tire. Get one tire all set up, the size you want it, the shape you want it, do everything to one tire, and then copy it around. I'm going to start adding some details to this tire. Over here we have our square tool, our circle tool, and then this is the polygon tool. We can use this to do different number-sided shapes. Right now it's set for, looks like 6 sides, like a bolt. So let's put some bolts on here. We pull this up. These will be our lug nuts. Let's make this a component. Make component, create. Now remember how to copy in a circle? We get our rotate tool. We have this selected already. If we didn't have this, if this was selected and we got a rotate tool, it's just going to rotate the tire. Okay, we don't want to rotate the tire. We want to rotate that lug nut. So we select it, we get our rotate tool, and remember the color. Black is not going to help us. Green, that's flat. So I want to do it around the center of this. hover here for a second. Find the center. Let's see if it snaps to the center. Maybe not. Let's try it again. 1000, 2000. And should be able to get it to snap to the center. Maybe not. Well, let's try that. Click once to start. We can click anywhere else we want. We got to hit Control so that it copies. We're going to go all the way around. You'll probably have to experiment with this a couple times. I'm going to go right there, and if you wiggle the mouse, you have to restart over. I'm going to hit, look at the bottom right hand corner, we're going to hit divide or slash, and however many lug nuts I want. So let's hit divide 5, enter. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our original first one. So we've got a 6-bolt wheel. That looks pretty good. If we want to go in and add more detail, we can. We could put a circle in the center here, and since we copied that first one around, it's going to do it to every single one. Okay, so we can do that. We can do a bunch more detail. Eventually we'll paint this up, but let's call that wheel good. Okay, now if I select our wheel and we get our move tool, we start moving it, we forgot something. Our lug nuts are gone, so undo, Control Z, select the entire thing by drawing a box around it. I'm clicking and holding the mouse button, we don't do that very often, and letting go. If you want, you can make this whole thing a component. Create. Now everything is all one, but inside this component we have another set of components, so you have to go in to be able to edit this, and you can click out of that one and out of that one, so it's like multiple layers. Alright, we've got that selected. Let's grab it. We're going to move it over here. Again, moving you want to do in a 2D view, so we're not holding the mouse button down. I'm going to move it. Okay, I'm going to switch over. Let's get rid of this. We don't like this tire, so that tire looks a little big, don't it? Well, let's get it over where we think we want it, and then we can start scaling it down. Okay, well, let's grab our scale tool and see about making it more the right size. Move it back. Okay, we're getting closer. Get our scale tool again. Okay, I think that might work. Maybe just a little smaller. Move it over, move it up. Okay, I think that'll work. That's a little small, but I can live with that. Okay, now we're going to copy this. So we hit Control, we go Move, whoops, Control, and let's keep moving it back to where we want it. Alright, now what do we do for the other side? Let's copy it again. So we're going to hit Control. We're going to move it over here. Notice my line is green. Get it where you think you want it. Now we need to spin it around. Okay, so we're going to grab our rotate tool again, and we want it to be blue. Okay, we want to spin it around the blue axis. So we're going to click, click, and spin it 180 degrees. Look at the bottom right hand corner, it says 180 degrees. You can type 180 degrees and it will do it for you. Notice the tire was selected. If the tire is not selected, it will not rotate it. We got it where we want it. Let's move it back in where we think it looks good. Maybe a little ahead. Okay, looks good. Control, copy, move it on the red axis up to there. And there are our 4 tires. So there's some choices for you for wheels. Used the Follow Me tool. We drew a circle. That was the shape that we followed. and we drew a rectangle perpendicular, and we followed that rectangle around the circle after we had made some shapes to it. So experiment with that. You can make all kinds of different shapes. If you want a spoke style rim, you might have to go with the cylinder like we showed you before. We can push it out. We could do some more circles here, and then we could also do some lines, and that would be your spokes. So then you could get your push-pull tool. You could push some of these back. Okay, so you could make a tire like that too. You could do a steering wheel this way. You could do a steering wheel this way. Sky's the limit. So there are your tires. Saving again. Save often.